It's my fault. The de facto wife of the woman who was killed by ICE said, it's my fault.
Even the photos of the bullet hole in the windshield present a problem for ICE's version of events.
The officer involved in the shooting yesterday, has he been suspended or is he still in the field?
The officer went to the hospital. He was hit by the vehicle. Went to hospital and received treatment, was released and is spending time with his family now.
People need to stop using their vehicles as weapons. This domestic act of terrorism to use your vehicle to try to kill law enforcement officers is going to stop. And I'm asking the Department of Justice to prosecute it as domestic terrorism.
That is not what I saw. I did actually see an ICE agent that stood in front of her truck as she was pulling off. Now, let me just say this. Why the hell would you stand in front of her truck as if you were invincible and you could not be hit? But when she attempted to take off and he was in front of her truck, in turn, he began to shoot at her, okay? That is what I seen when I started looking at it from multiple angles. Y'all know the left gonna look at shit from their side. And
so many people are up in arms right now with the shooting in Minnesota. I'm gonna tell you like this. It's not safe to stand in front of a car with a psychomaniac who's antagonizing the police. If you see the video, you can see the lady's wife, girlfriend, significant other. She's videotaping and antagonizing the police.
The car moves up. This tells me, and I'm speculating, that this woman is trying to block the road from ICE vehicles. We've seen people do this over and over. This prompts the ICE agents to get out to arrest the woman.
They purposely parked wrong. I'm not telling you that she should have been unalive. However it happened, let's just say it would have been the other way around and she accidentally slipped up and ran him over. Then it would have been I didn't mean to do that. He was in the way. Two things could be right at the same time, right? But it doesn't make it right for you to think you're Batman and you could just bolt out of where you at. It don't work like that. She messed around and found out, unfortunately. We're going to see how this is going to play out. We're going to break it down. We're also going to see some interviews from the actual person who filmed it from the other angle. And guess what? They're not even from this state. So what does that tell you? You have people on YouTube showing people how to antagonize the ICE agents. Americans at that.
Oh my God, play stupid games, win stupid prize. So as you guys know, in Minneapolis, a lady was unalived. Her name, I'll post it here. On today's episode of Play Stupid Game, Win Stupid Prize, you cannot obstruct an officer's duty. You were feeling like the martyr, and so you were the martyr. You literally died for the cause. You died for the cause. And now you guys want to call it an act of domestic terrorism when that's not the fucking case.
That's backwards.
She was obstructing an ICE officer's job, their duty in Minnesota. If I did that and they shot me, oh well, to me, because I knew that I shouldn't have been doing that. So I respect her. And again, let's be clear. Do you think that I would see ICE and not advocate for my friends, you know, that are tax-paying, law-abiding? Abso-fucking-lutely. But I would not obstruct justice. That is an obstruction. Like, bro. And now everybody's on the internet all outraged. Oh my God. Oh my God. No, what's outrageous is ICE has a job to do. And nobody was going to feel bad for that agent if he got ran over by that car and passed away. They'd all be like, oh, it was ICE. Keep that same energy.
For real.
Also, saying that you're outraged about the fraud in Minneapolis, but then obstructing an officer's view because you're mad about $19 billion, but it's not adding up. So you're mad at other people for not abiding by the law, but then you obstruct justice when the law comes in. Which fucking one is?
You're in the house, you hear an accident outside.
Yeah, I actually hear the gunshots. I hear 3 gunshots.
Just the guy who filmed
and then I
it
hear
from
a
the
car
other
crash.
angle.
And then I get up and I come outside. And when I come outside, y'all know the car and stuff was right there. When I come outside, the victim's wife was actually hugging her. She was hugging her and stuff like that. That's how she got the blood all over her face and her neck and stuff. So she was hugging her from that. And then ICE came and they pushed her out the way. And other people started coming. This part is not on my footage. This I wasn't filming at this time, so the other people came over and tried to like help. ICE got to pushing people out the way, and they pulled out their mace, and they ended up macing somebody right here. And I went inside the house and I shut the door, and something just told me like to start recording. So that's when I just started recording. I came back out, and everything y'all seen on the video is everything that I'm basically been telling you.
Wow. When Renee's wife, you say Renee's wife was hugging her, could you see, did it seem like Renee was responsive?
No, she wasn't moving at all. Like, she wasn't moving, like, at all.
I believe she was.
I'm kind of mad I didn't come closer to
immediately.
it. Like, what my eyes see and what y'all see on the video is two different things. So, you could actually, like, see her arm and everything just lifeless. Like, everything lifeless when they carried her all the way to the other end of the street, which we have no clue why the hell they did that. That was a crime scene. Why would y'all just take this lady from right here and take her down the street, which she already did? It didn't make no sense at all.
You see, she antagonizing the cop right there. Get the hell out of our neighborhood. You heard what she said, right? Now that happened. That was no.
What the fuck? Dude, what the fuck?
Y'all should have been stopping her. That's what y'all should have been doing.
Dude, you did a murder for what?
He told her to get out.
It's my fault. The de facto wife of the woman who was killed by ICE said, it's my fault. Quote, I made her come down here to confront agents, as she breaks down in harrowing footage. Now, I want to make sure this is very clear. She said, quote, I made her come down here. Now, there are a lot of questions around why this woman from out of state was in Minnesota in the first place. Why was her wife outside of the vehicle filming while she obstructed law enforcement? And if this woman was just trying to flee, why was she leaving her wife behind? Now, by all means, there are arguments for these things. She's a protester. You're allowed to protest. Driving from Colorado to Minnesota is kind of weird, but it's allowed. Maybe she was just trying to evade law enforcement after committing a misdemeanor or felony and was willing to leave her wife behind to escape the police.
This is your typical liberal behavior. I'm sorry to say that, but your typical liberal behavior is lesbian woman driving a Subaru. However, not to be funny or anything, but this wasn't a Subaru. But just think about it. Two lesbian women not minding their business, pulling up to ICE, one getting out the car filming while the other one is saying, no, you move. They was on timing. Someone put them up to that and look what happened. Yeah, see, this is why instead of reacting off an impulse, sometimes let it play out so you can really see the truth.
That's why her wife was left outside. However, we're going to break down the lies and give you the latest updates on what really happened, and it is her fault. This woman who was shot and killed is being called a victim.
There's going to be a lot of debate over whether that shot was justified. We're going to look at the two angles available right now and deep dive into what happened here. On this very first frame, we see this vehicle in the middle of the road with its tires facing left. Now watch what happens as this car goes around her. The car moves up. This tells me, and I'm speculating, that this woman is trying to block the road from ICE vehicles. We've seen people do this over and over. This prompts the ICE agents to get out to arrest the woman.
They thought they were going to have a YouTube, TikTok moment. This is all for likes, just so y'all know.
No! No! Shame! Shame!
Look at her. She's like, oh my God, look what I did.
What the
Yeah. What did you do?
You just... What the you do?
The woman driving was killed. So let's back up. First off, we do get the briefest of glances of the woman here, when she tells them to go around, after she almost just hit the last car that did so. Let's locate all the officers near the vehicle.
Why is her wheel turned to the
1, 2,
left?
and the officer to obviously look out for, 3. We're going to slow this way down and watch what happens. The front tires spin. The officer draws his weapon. Now this is important. Where do the tires go? Right now, at this moment, as the car creeps forward, the tires are directly aimed at the officer. The shot is fired here. Where is the officer? It's not ideal here to tell. Maybe you can make an argument from this angle that he could have just stepped out of the way. So let's now look at another angle. Not a great angle, but let's get in closer and slow it down.
Nah, she hit him. She grazed him, but
I don't think there's any question that the woman hit him here, if only just grazed him. But I'm sorry to say, you cannot do that. So was this shooting justified? I've presented the evidence to you as it exists.
I reject this. We had the debate last night, and while I initially said that I believed she wasn't intending to hit the officer and was trying to flee, but still put the officer in fear of harm, no, I've changed my mind. I'm going to show you the slowed down footage that I believe proves this woman was intending to kill that ICE agent. And I'm going to show you the propaganda from the left to obfuscate and cover this up. Now, you may be asking yourself, I can't believe it, Tim. A middle-aged white woman trying to murder an ICE agent? I know, that's why I didn't believe it either. I'm sitting here thinking it's some wackaloon lefty who is just protesting. When the cops approach her vehicle, she tries to flee, and the cop in front of her car gets hit. He does. Not like brutally. He's not run over. Trump is wrong. I have no problem saying that. But he gets hit, and he shoots through the windshield, killing her, and follows up with 2 shots through the side of the car. Now, we can have an argument about whether or not he should have kept shooting, but by the letter of the law, it is called a clean shoot. I wish it did not happen. I do not want this woman to lose her life, nor anybody. But we're going to break down the lies from the left and the propaganda.
Even the photos of the bullet hole in the windshield present a problem for ICE's version of events. There are 2 glaring issues with this. Number 1, and most obviously, there is only 1 bullet hole in that windshield, which corroborates the version of events I laid out in my previous video where I went frame by frame, where at least 2 of the shots were fired from the side through the open driver's side window, obviously negating any claims of self-defense for those 2 shots, since he could not claim to have believed he was in any danger once he was to the side of the car. Number 2, look at the position of the bullet hole in the windshield. Now, I'm not someone who likes to act like you can get all possible relevant information from a photo or 2, but there is some basic ballistics information we can glean from this. The earliest witness reports stated that Renee Nicole Good was shot, quote, in the face. Now, I don't believe that this has publicly been confirmed by any sort of medical examiner. However, based on the footage of the incident and the blood on the airbags, it doesn't seem too far-fetched. The single bullet hole in the windshield is pretty notably down in the corner on the driver's side of the windshield. So if that first bullet actually hit her, especially anywhere in the face or neck region, it would have actually had to have come in at quite an angle. Specifically, it would have had to have been angled pretty acutely from the side and below. Starting to see the issue here? The operative and most important piece here being from the side. Is it possible that that first bullet came more straight on and he was more in front of the vehicle? Sure. But that would mean that that was probably not the bullet that killed her. That would mean that instead she would have been killed by one of the shots fired from the side of the vehicle through the open driver's seat window.
You see how she is trying to spin this right here? Unbelievable. And nasty at the same time. Did you not see the clip right before this? I mean, we all saw the same clips. It seems like everyone forgot that she was out there looking for it. And she found it. All for likes. Yeah, all for likes.
Which, again, you're starting to see the issue here. Best case scenario for that ICE officer, it was that first shot that actually struck and killed her. But if in fact it was that first shot, that would actually prove that he was pretty far off to the side by the time he pulled the trigger.
The woman that was shot in Minneapolis by an ICE agent, after she blocked those ICE agents' vehicles from driving down the road, had every opportunity to avoid what happened.
Exactly.
Is it tragic? Absolutely. I pray for the family of the woman that died, for the safety of the ICE agents, but she made a choice. She pulled out and blocked lawful law enforcement from driving down the roadway. Yep. She ignored a federal law enforcement officer when he said, stop the car, get out of the vehicle. She chose to ignore it. She decided to accelerate with the ICE officer in front of the vehicle. The activists here in Minnesota have been actively recruiting average individuals to go out and be what they call observers to the lawful execution of warrants by ICE agents here in Minneapolis. All of this could have been avoided if individuals simply didn't go and obstruct ICE. This isn't hard. It shouldn't be that hard. But unfortunately, because of the Democrat leadership, the radical activists within our own government who continue to portray ICE as being the Gestapo, like Governor Tim Walz says, these individuals have bought into this narrative, to this propaganda, and now somebody has lost their life because of it. It's incredibly tragic. But here's what people need to understand. Here in Minnesota, there have been arrests by ICE agents during all 4 years of when Joe Biden was in office. As much year over year, if not more arrests than what ICE has done in 2025. My point is, during the 4 years of Joe Biden, Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey, Governor Tim Walz, Keith Ellison, none of them, the police chief in Minneapolis, none of them complained about what ICE agents were doing in arresting criminals here in Minnesota by the hundreds, if not thousands, over those 4 years here in Minnesota. None of them said a word in the 4 years that Biden was in office. It was only after Trump got inaugurated and ICE operations began again here in Minnesota did any of them complain, criticize, or say anything about what ICE has been doing. None of this was necessary. It's all political theater. And that woman would still be alive today if the activists didn't show up and if Governor Tim Walz, Jacob Frey, Keith Ellison, and the Minneapolis police chief hadn't been promoting the idea that ICE is some authoritarian regime under the Trump administration. It's tragic, but it could have been avoided.
He's not lying. They were set up for failure because they're taken lightly. If you have your own government telling you these people are not to be respected, what does that even tell you right there? I told you, it's the government versus the government, and they putting us in between because you have lunatics like that go out and say, you know what, I'm not respecting you. You heard what the governor said? Yeah. Y'all a joke. And look, who's the joke now? Who got the last laugh? Who can't continue laughing? This is an all-around crazy situation. It's unfortunate that she had to pass. I send my deepest sympathy to her family because she embarrassed them. They were on time in that day. What was the point? You're trying to stop traffic and your passenger is outside of your vehicle filming the police talking hella shit to them. What does that say about their character? Did they not have work to go to or something to handle? Anything more important than to do that? To become an observer and antagonize them? And you're American because you have the left telling you to verse the right? Like he said, it's political theater and you people are falling for the show.